Live from YMSL Studios, welcome to the Doug Less Report. I'm your host, Bobby Morabia with NRJ, to my left as usual, and Norman, welcome back. We've first show in about a month.
I know.
Due to some bad weather.
The networks are killing us. They want the ratings back, and here we are.
You know, we were actually the NHL playoffs. We're happy we weren't on the air, not to compete with them, with the Rangers, but. Norman, we came back with a bang. What a week. We call it Memorial Madness this past week.
Right.
And, a lot of action on and off the field.
Yes, a lot of action on and off the field. I understand there is an investigation into the baseball bat and equipment of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Some are saying it may vacate all of their wins, so who knows what's going to happen with that. And I'm not sure if the commissioner is ready to comment on what's going on.
Well, we have, as you know, there's an executive committee looking into it, and we've contacted all the top labs across the country, and we're actually hoping to get a call. Our producer's trying to get a call from one of the leading lab doctors in the tri-state area. So we're hoping to hear from him and to get a little more background on this accusation. There's a lot of rumor going around that some of the balls were flying. Jeffrey Sacker said he's never seen balls hit that hard,
right?
In his 25 years of pitching. So we're going to look into that allegation. It's one of the things we're going to look into. Your team had a huge week this week, rebounding from a shellacking last week at 18-4 to exit 105, and you guys rebounded playing the second place Bears.
Yeah, I mean the 18-4 shellacking, we tried to forget as quickly as we could, but we had to live with it all week.
Well, I thought it was nice you took your team to Quebec City for a couple of days to get away from...
to clear their heads.
Yeah.
We said, let's get out of Montreal.
Yeah.
The fans really, as patient as they are there, they started getting a little edgy.
Yeah.
You can't lose by 2 touchdowns in baseball. It would have been more probably, but we just, in the middle of nowhere, ended the game. Both teams just walked off the field at some point.
Yeah.
You
had great umps that day too. I think it was a fine.
It was an excellent umpiring crew. I got to tell you, some of the team felt we were unlucky that we played the game. Some felt that we were lucky we only played one because we probably would have lost 10 games in a row that day. Credit Exit 105, they were able to weather the storm literally and not get all caught up in the weather, and they were able to beat the crap out of us basically. And then we had the big test of playing the Bad News Bears this week. And we said from the beginning of the year, this is probably the best team on paper, the Bad News Bears. Their infield, their outfield, their offense, everything seemed to come together. The big question was the pitching, Nemi and Moses and Charles Saka. And they went with Nemi yesterday, on Sunday, and he was very good. I thought his thing was that he walks too many people, and apparently... he didn't have the bulk of the walks of that team. That was mostly from Charles Saka, and Nemi apparently has been throwing strikes all year. Game 1 was a classic. We were down 2-0.
Well, we might add also it was the first appearance of the year of Moses on the sideline, so maybe that had something, he's looking over his shoulder quite a bit.
Definitely, and Moses, in between games, by the way, did start warming up, so we thought perhaps we were facing Moses in Game 2 of the double dip. Game 1, they scored 2 runs right off the bat, and we only scored 1 in the bottom of the inning because Ali Marshall hit a bullet down the left field line that went right in those trees. And the umpire before the game said anything that goes in the trees is going to be a ground rule double. Ali was already past second, rounding third for a clear home run, but he had to go back to second base, and we didn't get him home. So now we're down 2-1 the entire game. They tack on 2 more runs in the 6th inning to go up 4-1. Bottom of the 6th is when the game got crazy, and we had Mark Nardea, our number 9 hitter, led off the inning with a walk.
Right.
Next 2 guys got out. Sonny Shalom up, he drew a walk. So even though Nemi didn't walk a lot of people, he did walk 2 people in front of Ali Marshall in a crucial moment. Allie rocketed the ball, scoring 2 runs. Lee got Allie home. We tied the game at 4.
It was a 3-run homer, right?
It was not a 3-run homer. It was I think it was it a 3-run homer?
I was told it was a 3-run homer, a rocket that Victor Dweck, was playing in a little bit. They went 4 outfielders.
They went 4 outfielders.
And Victor Dweck was playing in.
Was playing very shallow. I don't know why. I think
laser.
Allie tripled. I'm not exactly sure. I got to look up in the box score. But either way, he killed the ball and he got home the next at bat anyway. So now we tie the game.
That was after 7 innings.
That was in the 6th inning. 7th inning.
Oh, it wasn't the bottom 7?
It was bottom 6.
Oh.
Now top 7, bottom 7, top 8, bottom 8, top 9. The defense on both sides all of a sudden clamped down, was perfect. Every play was being made. Bottom of the 9th inning, 2 outs, nobody on. Ralph Shearer draws a walk, and up steps yours truly, NRJ at the plate. The craziest
play.
play.
NRJ is hitting 500.
Yes. Coming into the week, I was hitting 500.
And your name has never been mentioned in any bat tainted.
No bat tainted.
It's only like the power hitters.
They're checking me for steroids, but we're not going to talk about that on the show. So this is one of the craziest plays I've ever seen in my life, because Ralph Shearer's on first base with 2 outs. I'm up. I hit a ball very hard, but to the pitcher. It bounces off of his foot, off of Nemi's foot. I was running to first, so I don't even know exactly where the ball went, but it either went up or around him or whatever. And he reaches down for the ball, and he somehow underhands it or back scoops it to the first baseman.
With his glove hand or with his...
I believe with his glove hand. Now I'm running. I see Robert Braha reach over into the baseline to try to get the ball. I'm like a foot away from the base. I'm just running in a straight line. Full collision with Robert Braha, tumbling over him, and basically safe at first.
Now the big question is, was there any talk, because Eddie Michon was on that team and he looks for any loophole. Were you in the base, out of the base path, running legally or inside the line?
I was fully in the base path. The throw was in the base path, hence the collision.
Right.
Eddie Michon had no problem with anything that happened. Now I'm getting up. I'm a little, I'm bleeding on my elbow because I ran into Robert. I fell on the floor, the whole thing. All of a sudden, I hear my team explode. I thought maybe I was called out for some reason. Maybe, maybe they're cheering because I'm safe. All of a sudden, I see Ralph Shearer somehow from first base scored all the way home during this play. What happened was either Douglas Dweck, their third base coach, or Eddie Rishney, their shortstop, one or the other, yelled to Robert Braha to tag me. This is 10 seconds after the play.
Right.
Meanwhile, still a live ball. Robert Braha, while I'm on the floor, comes, tags me. Umpire says safe. There's no call there. And while this is happening, Ralph Shearer scores.
Never stop.
Yeah.
Great base running, heads up base running.
Great base running.
Great, whoever was the third base coach probably told them also.
We couldn't believe it. He said because there was 2 outs, he rounded second by the time the ball even got to first base.
Right.
Kept going to third because there's 2 outs. He's just running first to third. No big deal there. And when he saw Robert Braha turn to tag me, he jetted for home. There was not even a throw. Everyone was shocked. And then after that win in 9 innings, Game 2, we scored 4 runs in the first inning, and the rest was history.
Yeah, hard to rebound. But ironically, the Bears coming in with a high-powered offense, pretty held in check by Mikey on the day overall. Mikey
pitched tremendous. All the Bears came over after the game. They said he throws much harder than we thought. And, they were surprised by his control. I don't think he walked anybody. Maybe he walked one guy all day. And they were surprised by his ability to keep control and throw much harder than they thought. So
okay, so a nice sweep. You guys are back now in 6-3, right?
Yeah.
6-3 back in second place. So that was a huge win. You beat them in the season series.
Huge win.
We have a call coming in from the call out. Albert, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how are you? This must be Mr. Jemal, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, you guys called me, no?
No, we don't call any of our... so Mr. Jemal, you guys coming in with a split the other day. Another tough, heartbreaking loss for your franchise. Game 1 was a tough loss. You guys had a 7-4 lead, and you let it get away.
we're really relying on our offense, and we got it. We got 7 runs. We had a 3-run lead. We didn't make the right plays when we needed to. There would come some makeable plays. I don't know what happened exactly, but they ended up scoring 3 that inning, and then I forgot the kid's name, Larry.
Yeah, Morris
Harari hit the walk-off home run.
Tailing ball over my head. I slipped, and then I tried to make the play, and I kind of screwed it up a little bit, and we lost.
Albert, a lot of talk since the game is about the possible use of an illegal bat by the Pittsburgh Pirates, specifically you. A couple of others also, but I believe it's possibly your bat or
no,
Jordan's
it's not his bat. It's not his bat, but he's one
Actually, I think you should get your bat straight, Jamal.
Straighten me out. What do you got?
Not me.
No, it's
That's
not.
not me.
It's not his bat, but he was using the bat.
That bat. The ball was getting hit around all day. All I can tell you is that we were locked into whatever the guy was throwing. So you want to blame it on the bats, blame it on the bats. But it looked like, the Braves were 4-8. It's not the bat's fault. Let's put it that way.
So you're saying it was because they mentioned actually a couple of people in your organization mentioned that against you.
Week one, when you hit a 712-foot home run, a few people noticed an interesting sound off your bat that didn't sound like a normal sound.
You know what's funny? Samantha was banging me up yesterday that my bat's corked, and I guess it came from Jemal, Norman R Jemal. Is that what happened?
No, did not happen from me.
Consultants was coming after me, so I got so messed up. I went online and I checked my bat, so it's actually legal. You guys scared the hell out of me. I thought you were going to vacate all my stats.
Who's Zolta?
Jack Zolta?
Zolta started texting me, your bat's corked. I heard your bat's corked. What are you talking about?
Well,
yeah, I heard the show just now. I figured out who it was. I guess it wasn't you.
No, I promise. I did not talk to Jack Zolta about this at all.
It wasn't him. It wasn't Norman.
I don't know who's talking to Zolta. I don't know where it came from, but
so are you saying you use your own bat or you use Jordy's bat?
I only use my bat.
Oh, so you never use Jordy's bat.
Now,
you guys want to tell me, you have a good season, man. Wow. You want to like that?
Well, we're trying to we want to make sure your stats are.
Tell me something nice for once.
We want to make sure your bat is legal. These stats that you're putting up, these monster home runs, and we want to make sure it's.
My bat's legal. The bat that they accused of being corked was like 10 years old. There wasn't any letters left on it, so I don't know how you're going to figure that one out. Maybe send it to the lab.
Would you be willing to submit the bat in for evidence for the league officials to send to the lab?
My bat?
Whatever bat that they're talking about that could be illegal.
Well, now uses my bat, so I don't know whose bat it is.
What color is your bat?
My bat's the same color as the bat you're complaining about.
There you go. So yeah, your bat.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that bat is yours that has the rubber topping on it?
No rubber topping.
There's no rubber.
I'm telling you, it's Gamal's bat.
Huh?
There's no toppings on my bat.
No, there's a rubber. So whose bat is it? It's
that one with no letters on it, right?
No. Oh boy, we're getting a lot of
mixed signals from Albert Gamal. Usually he's very, very clear.
Let's just talk about how we were dead in the water and now we're in the hunt. Let's talk about the Pirates.
No, but this is good. No, because
you might be 0-12 by the end of the night, though. That's the only thing.
You're gonna give us a 2-1 penalty? You guys are vicious.
Anyway, Albert, while we have you on the phone, we managed to confiscate one of the bats from
your locker.
And Norman's going to examine it because, we are looking for certain things.
Now, I have my magnifying glass here, and I'm looking at a 32-inch and 32-inch bat here, Albert. And I will give you credit that this particular bat is ASA certified, but I cannot talk about the other bat that you're withholding from the league officials. So
no, that A has been tainted. It's a USA certified. It's been tainted, that one.
Well, we're gonna send it to the lab for further testing and to see if it's corked. But there's two different issues. Some people are saying the bat is corked.
Yeah.
I don't know with what, because we use metal bats.
Yeah.
Other people are saying that it's a hardball bat that's not legal for softball, and that
Who's that? Who's that?
not the bat I'm holding. The bat that you're withholding is the bat we're talking about.
I am not withholding any bat. You can come to my house if you're having a party for the cold, and pick up my bat and check it out.
Okay. Okay, fine.
So the bat in question that Jeffrey Sack has been saying is actually Albert Gamal's bat?
Yes, it's Albert Gamal's
Not my
bat.
bat. Call Saka right now. Ask him what happened.
What Sack is filing a complaint in the league that your bat is illegal and the game
Not
should
just
be
with the league.
replayed.
He's got the FBI involved also.
Right.
It's not just
I wouldn't get the FBI involved, Bob. That's a little, too serious.
no. He's taking this very seriously because it's like a federal crime. His ERA's gone up. It's hurting his livelihood.
First, by the way, Bob, you asked me.
Yeah.
On the topic. He was not talking about my bat. It was another bat. It was making some weird sound, and Eddie Hakeem kept saying it's double wall. That's why it makes that sound.
Oh, so that's what it is. So it's that double. It has like a rubber topping on top of the metal, right, or some
Like topping. Yeah.
whatever.
Albert, in week 1, you hit a home run against the Expos that made a crazy sound on the swing.
Yes.
Is that the bat we're talking about?
No.
Okay.
Oh, so there's more than one tainted bat.
This is his case, not my bat.
There's a few tainted bats in the clubhouse there in Pittsburgh.
Hey, breaking news.
All right, Albert, we're gonna
I guess
change topics and
Talking about the Pirates playoffs.
yeah, we're gonna talk about the Pirates right now for a couple of minutes. So now tell us now you're 4-6, right? Let me see, right in the middle of the hunt. This week you're
Hustle is still in the league, by the way.
Hustle hasn't played in a month, so they're gonna be a little stale. What do you think now going up against veteran Red Nesser?
So veteran Red Nesser, we're not guaranteeing anything, but I think it's a big change coming from Saka throws heat to Red Nesser throws, I don't know, our pitching. So we gotta stay back and drive the ball up the middle like we've been doing all season.
So yeah, I think you guys, you need a must sweep this week to really solidify your position.
Well, this is a major break for them to not face Mavora and get Hustle with Red Nesser.
Here's a break. We've been missing a key player every single week of the season.
That's true. That's true. You deserve a break.
Yeah, what happened to Richter yesterday, by the way? He never misses a game. Where was Richter the other day?
I don't know. He didn't, I have no idea.
Oh, he just didn't show up. That's unlike him, so...
Well, it's starting to click. I'm saying we're like 6, 7 guys deep. Everybody's showing the ball. Jaime Shama, Jordy Rumel, Eddie Hakeem, Joe Shira.
How's the defense coming along?
Who?
The defense.
Yeah, my defense has been spotty. Overall, I think defense, we're not playing the top defense, the type of defense we need to win at all. And it's not just, it's me for sure, but it's everybody. We're not playing heads to the ball. We're making that throw that you just shouldn't make.
Yeah.
We're making those errors at the wrong times. But if there's ever a time to get it right, it's now, and we're making a player push, and I think we're going to get it right going forward.
All right. Well, this is a big week. It's a big week this week, and I'm sure you get
predictions at the end.
Yeah, we do that at the end. We'll see how.
I never make it to the end of the show.
All right.
All right. Well, then you have nothing to complain about then.
Edit that out and can't even do that. You guys can't edit nothing. I can say whatever I want right now.
All right, Albert. Thanks for the call, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Albert Gamal denying all allegations about the tainted bat, seat or no seat. We still got to examine it further.
Yeah, definitely, and I think all the head honchos in the Atlanta Braves organization will be looking into this further.
All right, don't forget, we are available for phone calls. The number is 732-YMSL55, 732-5YMSL55.
Oh,
yeah. Or for you that can't spell, 732-596-7525. And by the way, Jemal, I mean, might be hitting well, but he was very shaky in left field the other day. Stumbled a few times.
I've heard from a few people that he had trouble, getting a grip on the ground and was slipping all over the place.
Yeah. So
I'm getting conflicting reports on if this Maris Harari home run was a rocket to left field or if Jemal broke in, slipped, and let the ball get past him. I'm not sure. I wasn't there.
And we should talk that there's also a lot of rumor that Mo Harari was using that very same bat, so
Well, the Pirates are saying, "How are you coming to us about an illegal bat?" The Braves were using it also.
Yeah, very valid point. Certainly, we don't have videotape replay of the game because it was, not exactly. It was a regional telecast, so we don't have the.
Right, and now so the Braves and Pirates split.
Yeah.
Neither of them made the big move they needed to make, but both are still alive.
Yeah, and then the Braves are extremely fortunate to win that game. As you mentioned, had a 7-4 lead in the 7th inning, and they came back and 7-7, and Maris Harari hit the home run to win it a walk-off. But another heartbreaking loss is they lost a few games this year that were just, they had that 5-0 lead in the 7th that they lost. So they need a sweep, like you said. Maybe their prayers will be answered this year, but Mavor's at the wall in Israel, so maybe he's... We'll get a thunderstorm game.
Right. The Braves, of course, then after they split this doubleheader with the Pirates, they played All In, who we have to talk about All In because All In got swept by the Hurricanes.
So all of a sudden, now how ironic things are. The last time we were on the air, we were burying the Hurricanes. 1-7 at the time, and mighty things have changed, and. They're right back in the thick of things.
3-game winning streak, 4-7.
And they have a player that really is, we don't talk about enough on the air. He's definitely an MVP candidate, John Eliezer.
John Eliezer, I heard yesterday, single-handedly carried his team, the Hurricanes. I shouldn't say single-handedly, but, he carried his team past All In that sweep and only got out one time, I believe, in the entire
Well, he
day.
did practically carry them because his defense was spectacular and his offense, was he 6 for 8 or 7 for 8? But he hits the ball hard and he's an unbelievable hitter. And and Gindy's starting to come along now.
Well, people on the Hurricanes have said that Gindy's pitched well and our defense is atrocious.
Yeah.
That's what they've said. And yesterday, apparently, they made a defensive switch. In right field, they brought in Leo Hinono into second base. They moved RB, Richie Braha, out to right field, and that seemed to have made a huge difference. The Zoltas in the outfield were making every play.
Yeah.
Daniel at third, John Eliezer, like you said.
Right.
It seems like the whole team came together and actually played some defense.
DT coming along now.
DT had a few hits yesterday, by the way.
It was the first time in a month that he didn't have a bag over his head. He was been walking around,
DT lives for this league, and when his team is 1-7, he was depressed. It was a problem, but now he's up to 4-7.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the standings later, but it's very tight across the board. We have a call coming in now from a leading expert on bat tainting, and he actually has a lab in Edison, New Jersey, called Batco, and his name is Dr. Maurice Farieba.
Okay.
Is that better or no?
Dr. Farieba, you're on the air.
Shlonek, Bobby, how are you? This is Dr. Farieba.
How are you, doctor? And we thank you.
Long time no talk to. What can I do for you?
Yes, I appreciate you calling in. I'm sure you've been hearing all the headlines.
Yes, Wajaras.
The Azab and Wajaras and everything.
That situation, I don't know.
Now, let me ask you something. You're expert on bat over 25 years. You have a lab.
Batco in Edison, New Jersey.
Yeah. Tell us exactly, is it possible to cork or to taint an aluminum bat?
Bobby, this is very, very, very difficult situation to put a cork in the bat, but it's possible. Anything can be possible, but this is very unlikely to do something like that. But we test for it if you want in our lab.
How exactly is the test, how do they proceed with that test?
First of all, as you know with the patient, we need a $50 copay in cash only. And when you come to the lab, we give you the x-ray. We put the x-ray, we look at the bat, we put the bat in the x-ray, and everything is show up there.
Are there any side effects for the bat when they do this procedure?
Who is this?
This is Norman.
Oh, Norman, how are you? I heard right about you for from your brother who speaks Spanish very well.
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Yes, what was your question? Sorry.
My question was, are there any side effects for the bat when they go through this procedure? Is it going to affect how, let's say everything's clean, are the Pirates going to be able to use this bat again and have the same feel to it?
No. Once we take the X-ray and we do the test, I think we have to, confiscate the bat. It don't work anymore. The sound is no good. You need a new bat. That's it. You finish.
Now, if a bat is tainted, what could that do for the player when he? What does it add to?
Repeat the question. Sorry, repeat it.
What is a tainted bat? What can it do for the performer?
Oh, this is like the steroids. You know the steroids in the baseball?
Yes.
The bat will fly. Or any the pitch when the ball comes, it goes very, very far. It's very, very important. If this comes, it's very good for the player, the batter.
Okay, so you're saying, so if we bring you the bat to your lab in Edison,
Yes.
how long is the whole procedure about?
It depends. If I'm busy, I have other people, but I put an expert on it, and we do it within 24 to 36 hours for our good friend from the YMSL.
So has anybody from the YMSL ever visited your lab or do you?
What you say, we as a doctor, we have the confidentiality.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, we had a guy with the initial, some guy come in with the initial JR, I think, JR. I don't know, like Alice, the show? JR, he come in, but I really can't say his name.
Oh, okay, so JR, we gotta look through the roster and see if any JR.
I don't know if you have, but I know my assistant, he's telling me a boy come in, something like that, but I don't know.
So, okay, so we are gonna talk further. We're gonna try to get a hold of the bat and bring it to your lab, and hopefully you can put an end to this accusation.
Well, anyone around you, no problem, anytime.
All right, doctor. Thank you for calling.
Okay, good to talk to you, Bobby and Norman.
All right,
Thank you.
So
Okay.
there you have it. There is a way to taint the bat, an aluminum bat.
Okay, well then Jeffrey Saka may have a case over here.
And maybe it's near Saka's office in Edison. Maybe he
Maybe
could
in
take it
Edison.
himself. Maybe he could, look into that and get an answer once and for all. I'd like to see how that procedure is done. It could be very interesting. So.
And I can tell you, Gamal was not too happy with the amount of attention that the bat got. He was not too happy. He wanted to more focus on his win. But
All right. Well, like you said, those wins could come off the records there. So. Getting back to the action now, I forgot where we were. So
we were at the Hurricanes sweeping all in, which was a shock. We didn't do predictions because we didn't have a show last week.
Yeah.
But I don't think either of us would have thought that the Hurricanes were going to beat all in.
We predicted all. I would have picked it all in to sweep.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big sweep against All In. That's a tough one. And then All In somehow rebounded and beat the Braves.
Well, there was a lot of talk. Actually, we got to get back. Maurice Haber actually pitched the last 3 games. He's very down on Leo. He pitched the last 3 innings of Game 2, and he basically gave Leo an ultimatum that this is your final chance at Game 3 for the season. So
wow.
Yeah, he was going to pitch, or he had Morabia was going to pitch, but there are a lot of guys who are down on Leo. He's been walking a lot of guys and getting behind almost every batter. So
wow, and it's no secret that Hank is the one that pushed the draft and made sure that Maurice took Leo over there.
4th round, whatever that was. But let's talk about that 3rd game. Leo pitched a gem and pitched a shutout, 3-0 shutout, and they needed that win badly. So they won 2 out of 3 on the day. And getting back to the Braves, the same old story.
The bats. Where are the bats?
The team is averaging a measly 3 runs a game.
I don't understand it. I mean, they don't have the big power hitter, but they have Erwin Cohen, Abe Cohen, Sam Michon. They have a bunch of other guys that can all hit.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they can't score more than 2-3 runs a game.
Yeah.
The one game they scored 8, they won the game. You can't score 2 and none and expect to win a game. It's impossible.
Right. So it's been a problem all year for them, and they haven't been able to put big innings together. And AB's starting to come around a little bit, but
I know we've been joking about Jeffrey Saka a lot today with the whole bat thing, but he's been having one of his best years.
Yeah.
You know, he's saying.
I mean, if it wasn't for him, they'd be 0-12 now.
It's crazy, but it's.
I mean, he's 4-8. He has like the second lowest ERA in the league. I mean, the fact that they even have 4 wins with averaging 3 runs a game is mind-boggling.
But you're right. They did lose some heartbreakers. They lost the game against us with the tag up call. They lost the game where they had a big lead in the 7th inning.
Yeah.
You know, so they are a little snake bitten, but they're still in it. They're in last place at 4-8.
Yeah.
You go 8-8, you're in for sure. You go 7-9, you might be in.
But they're also in a situation now where they have to win out, most likely, unless a miracle happens where 7 wins get them in. So, you know, but they do have a shot, and we'll talk about their schedule the rest of the way. So now let's get to another great matchup with Meadowbrook, which was Exit 105 versus the White Sox. And the big story of that game is the return of Ralph Hannon after...
Yeah, amazing.
Amazingly, 2.5 weeks after donating a kidney, he came back. He wasn't allowed to bat. It hurts him a little bit, so he was pitching. He warmed up on Friday for about 10 minutes. And he pitched 2 unbelievable games.
It's unbelievable that this guy is back on the mound. People thought when he did the surgery that he might be out for the year.
Yeah.
You know, and they said, no, we'll be back in a month or so. But just 2-3 weeks later, to be back pitching with the rain, he barely missed any time, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think he. I think Red pitched 1 game for them, or pitched pitched for them a 5-inning game. I don't. It might have been Red who pitched for them. Like, I mean, yeah, they were fortunate with the rain out that.
I mean, but really heroic that he was back on the mound and pitching as well as he was able.
And I'll tell you, I'll be the first one to admit I was wrong on this team. I was very down on them in the preseason. I thought there was an awful team. But now looking at it, and they have some real players, and their offense is a lot better than I expected.
Well, JT is a top player in the league, first round pick if he was in the draft. Obviously, he was a captain, but I didn't expect him to never get out the entire year.
Yeah.
And apparently, he's batting over 700 and with power and everything. So you know he's really making it happen, and then he has more than enough of a supporting cast.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting also Sam Harari, fine player in the outfield. Max Sutton's hitting very well this year.
Mm-hmm.
Getting good production out of Harry Braha was a big question at third base. Lior Friedman, pure hitter. Saban and Ralph Hannon when he's going to come back. That's a crazy lineup they have, and you know, they're definitely now if they get in somehow, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. So they won the first game.
6-2. Now Exit 105 was you know in cruise control until they faced the White Sox. You know they're coming off the 18-4 win against Montreal Expos, and you know so they hit a little bit of a roadblock.
Right. Basically, game 2, the White Sox were about to sweep. It was a 2-0 going into the bottom of the 7th, and the Exit 105 got a runner on base on a walk. Then Solly Towell, who's having an MVP year, he's just one of the best clutch hitters in the league. Hits the ball hard every time. Drove in a run with a double to make it 2-1. Jackie Added got a single to right field to tie up the game at 2. And then this play, when I was there, it was unbelievable. Eli Harari was actually moved down from his cleanup spot to the 7th hole.
Wow.
Yeah, and not too happy about that.
Wow.
Yeah, he let it be known he was not happy about being demoted, but he was not producing in the fourth.
Significant demotion. That's not going from 5 to 6. That's 4 to 7 is a big drop.
But but they were saying something. Brackers are hitting. Let's try to move it around. This team is another team that's not scoring at all for an 8-3 team. So Eli Harari got a big hit to left field, left center, a single basically, and Jackie had just kept running, and the throw went to third. He didn't even the third base coach is telling him to stop. He just kept running and running to third base and bobbled the ball, and it was not even a play to plate. He scored all the way from first on a base hit. It's at 50 years old, amazing, and
he's been doing that forever. He always takes the extra base.
He always does.
Obviously,
he did that against you a couple of weeks ago. He got caught in a rundown, and I mean, he's a very daring heads-up base runner, and a very, very fortunate victory for Exit 105, and a heartbreaking loss.
A brutal loss for the White Sox.
Very, very bad.
They were right there to be 5-4. Instead, they're 4-5, and they got to live with that all week.
Yeah.
And Exit 105 could have been 7-4 much closer
Yeah,
to
to
the
the
pack.
middle of the
Instead,
pack.
they're the only
I mean,
team. You know,
unless they really fall apart, they're almost guaranteed a bye. I would say. I mean, it'd be like a miracle if they don't
yeah,
get one.
I mean, anything can happen any week. We
Yeah.
saw that this week again. You
Right.
know, the Hurricanes sweeping, the Bad News Bears getting swept. So anything can happen, but they're pretty much, you know, in control. No one else has more than 6 wins. They have 8 wins.
Yeah.
So you know, they're looking pretty right now. They got a nice victory there. You never want to get swept. They pulled it out in the last
Yeah.
inning.
Again, the big thing with them, actually pitching outstanding. The defense is good. Their lineup is just, you know, besides Nathan and Solital, you know, Solly's hitting an amazing year. A lot of guys hitting the threes. They scrape up enough runs to win. Their bottom, they're getting no production from the bottom half of the lineup, zero production. Again, in a playoffs series, you know, it could come back to, you know, to bite you a little bit. But
it's amazing. We talked about them all year. We have not mentioned Morris at all, to tell you the truth.
Oh, well, yeah, not having his usual year. I mean, he's hitting in I think high 3s, low 4s. But with him, the on-base percentage is always very high.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of walks, great defense. But certainly, they're sitting very pretty, this team. So we'll.
You know what? They're sitting beautifully because they haven't come together yet. They haven't, you know, taken it to the next level with Mo Shama going, you know, 5 for 6, this and that, and they're still 8-3.
Right.
I mean, this is not a team you want to face in the playoffs, and you know, if Maxi Deed stays strong, I mean, there's no end for this team. They're clearly a World Series candidate.
Yeah, and you'll be playing them again this week for another makeup game.
Yes, we'll be playing them on Memorial 1, the makeup game, Game 3.
So let's get to this week's schedule and predictions. And
very hard to keep track with all the makeups and the rain and everything. But
for the next 3 weeks, really, teams are going to be playing a lot of 3 a days to make up for the rainouts of the past. All right, so this week we'll start off at Fireman's. We have the Pirates. We just mentioned Albert Gamal's Pirates versus Hustle minus Red Nesser, minus Ike Mavor with Red Nesser pitching.
Right.
So I don't know. You know, this on paper looks like an automatic sweep. I somehow, there's something about that team, the Hustle, that they find ways to win. You know. And
they've come back twice from 5-0 deficits. So
they haven't played in a month. I don't know if that's going to affect them now. But there's something about the Pirates that they find ways to lose. I see a split in this game.
I'm going to go with the Pirates sweeping only because they're going to be pissed off that everyone's talking about their bats being illegal and all that, and no one's talking about the fact that they played a good game. And Hustle has not played in a month, and it affects you. It has to affect you. You haven't played in a month. You got to come out rusty. No Ike Mavora, major detail.
Right.
I got to go with the Pirates there.
And also, we got MVP candidate Steven Safdie going up against his brother, Meyer. And he's putting up ridiculous numbers.
Steven's a professional hitter. He's always puts up the numbers. He always gets it done. Beautiful hitter. Love the way he plays.
Now, if the Pirates can somehow manage to split and get sweep and get to 6-6, it would be really, really sitting very good. It's going to hurt the Hustle to lose 2 games if that's the case.
I think it's going to happen.
I know Jack Jamal is just ecstatic. He said if he gets a split this week, so now. Hustle's got to play 8 games in the next 3 Sundays, so they're really going to be, caught up. They need some depth.
They got to make up some game, and they're only playing. They're not making up a game this week.
No.
So they're playing 3 the next 2 Sundays.
The next 2 Sundays.
Okay.
So they're going to have to maybe pick up a pitcher and try to add some depth for the bullpen.
Well, they have Red.
Yeah, they have Red and I guess Marty is a good pitcher. Worst case scenario.
That would be interesting.
So now Memorial 1, we have All In, as we mentioned, coming in, losing 2 out of 3 the other day to the Hurricanes versus Exit 105, and this is at Memorial 1. I think this is going to be a split also. I think I know the lineup for All In is very, very good, and I think they'll figure out a way to get 1 game, because I don't think 105 is going to explode on anybody. So I think split's going to be here also.
I agree with you on that one. I think all in. I think they overlooked the Hurricanes. They claim they did. They claim the Hurricanes played well. That's why they lost both games to them. But I think when you're facing a 1-7 team, it's different than facing a 4-7 team or 2-7, whatever they were. So I think they overlooked them. I think they'll wake up. That had to be a wake-up call. And I agree with you. I think they're going to take a game from 105, but not 2 games. So I'll go with the split also.
Yeah, and maybe that shutout Leo. We also had, maybe they had a little warning for Maurice. Now he's going to be a little more focused.
That was interesting. I did not know that Maurice really took the ball away from Leo in the last 3 innings there, and he was that frustrated with him. Yeah. Something to watch the rest of the season.
And I was surprised that it was not Morabia that got the call for Game 3.
It was Maurice himself.
Yeah.
Right.
But they claim, Morabia claims he had a bad back, but Maurice says that wasn't the case. But I think they'll manage a win. And I still think All In is a playoff team somehow. Over at Meadowbrook, we have the White Sox versus the Bad News Bears. This is a very interesting matchup. Now the White Sox, as we mentioned, 4-5. The Bears coming in.
5-3.
A lot of people already calling the Bears the unknowns from last year and coming down to earth a little bit. And some members of the organization have mentioned to me that they don't feel their pitching is going to take them to a World Series.
Really?
It's just you need that guy who can shut the door down and not walk anybody. And they got a great offense and a great defense. So it's going to be interesting. The White Sox could score. I think. I don't know. I'll tell you the truth. The White Sox.
It sounds like you're about to make a bold prediction over here. Do you have the Bears going to 5-5 right now? No.
The White Sox. I don't know. I'll tell you. I wouldn't be surprised to see them sweep somehow this game. I don't see the Bears sweeping them, but the White Sox are impressing me. I got to tell you. So I think I'm going to see them. I don't know. I'm just going with a split again. But I would not be surprised if the White Sox swept them.
I tried leading you into a sweep. I'm going with a split. I thought so before your entire dissertation over there. I like a split over here.
Oh, you also like, that would put. Well, I'll tell you one thing. If somehow the White Sox swept them, the Bad News Bears are going to be really in trouble. I mean, you'd be 5-5. You could be right in, who knows what could happen there. I mean, so.
You could be in a week difference. You go from having the bye to being a sweep away from missing the playoffs. It's so tight. I don't think the Bears are there. I think I don't think
not yet. No.
I don't think they're in any sort of danger just yet. I think they're getting a game. They think they're getting 2 games, but I think they're going to get a game against the White Sox and just be fine from here on in. But you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. One little slip up and
that's it.
It can hit the fan very quickly.
All right, so then we have the makeup game, right? Is that
the Hurricanes versus the Expos?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Memorial 2.
Memorial 2. We have the resurgent Hurricanes versus the Expos, and I'd like to get your opinion on this. What do you? I mean, I'm sure you told your team about overlooking them, but now they're right in the middle of the thing. So the Hurricanes.
I mean, they're nothing to overlook anymore because they're 4-7. Yeah. They're the same as everybody else. Right. They're 2 games different than anybody else in the league. So when you're 1-7, you can fall on that track. Right. When you're 4-7, you're facing a good team. We haven't seen David Gindy at all. We haven't even been on Memorial 1 when they were on 2. Right. We have not even seen their team for a moment. So they got a good roster. They're hot. I saw Daniel Towell, and he is flying on the moon and thinks that his team is never going to lose again. So they're playing with a ton of confidence. But I got to go with the Spos.
And how do you plan on attacking Red Hot John Eliezer? Just you're going to pitch to him, pitch around him?
No, we're gonna pitch to him. We have confidence in our defense, confidence in our pitcher. And, if it's second and third, 2 outs for the game, it's one story. But if it's regular facing him, we're gonna pitch to him.
I see a split in this one also, but if I had to pick a sweep, I think the Expos are going to sweep. But somehow I think the Hurricanes got a lot more confident, and as a matter of fact, before we go, we got we got a call from the third base coach of the Bad News Bears.
Oh.
Is that the third base coach, Douglas Dweck, on the line?
Yes, how are you guys? Loving the show.
The Douglas
thank you,
report.
Douglas. And Douglas, first of all, let's talk about your struggling organization over there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm going to have to bring some of the illegal bats that I used to use back to the league now that I know that you're allowed to use them. I'll bring them back to the league and give them out to the Bears. Maybe they can score some runs.
Douglas, was it you that caused Robert Braha to come and tag the runner at the end of that game 1, allowing Ralph Shearer to score?
No, I was actually behind the fence with your brother Bob, telling him Norman's going to end the game right here. I feel it. He's going to blast it over the right fielder. That's what I thought that was going to happen. Because the right fielder was very, very shallow, and I thought you were going to go over him.
Right.
And then I was just behind watching everything that was going on, just standing with your brother. We couldn't even believe it, and then he just scored from first. But I wasn't screaming, take him, take him. I was surprised that, Eddie Mishon, who's a veteran, or maybe someone else would yell, watch the guy, because Drew didn't even mean anything.
Right.
He's the winning run. They got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea that he could possibly score from first base on that, but he never stopped running, and he caught the other team napping, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, and I think, like you said, it has an effect going into the next game, especially when you jump out like you did in the second game.
Yeah, we batted first in the next game, and we scored 4 in the first inning, I believe. So we never looked back from there. Definitely had an effect. What's your view on the Bears in general?
So they lost 3 games out of the last 4, but I'll tell you the truth, I don't look at the teams that they played and said that they were terrible teams. I think you have a great team. My team, to me, was unbelievable. I didn't even think he'd be anything near that. He was throwing hard all game. Anytime he needed to throw a strike, he threw a strike. I thought he was awesome. I think your defense is awesome. Your team is very, very, very good. Just very good. And I think they lost to good teams. And they were close. They didn't get blown out. But, they were close games. But your team is a good team.
Going forward, what do you see with the Bears?
I think the Bears are definitely a playoff team. I thought they would go for a bye, either first or second place. But I think that the teams that they needed to beat for the bye, they lost to. So I think you may end up getting it. And they got swept by you, so now you're ahead of them. And they lose the tiebreakers against you. And also exit 105 beat them.
Right.
And that beats them first. So it's tough. They'll make the playoffs for sure. But, first or second would be nice to get. But they're going to have to feed off these other teams that they have not played. So
now let me ask you a question.
I think they can sweep the White Sox.
Let me ask you a question. What about what's upper management's? You think their thought? I mean, do you really feel Nemi's going to be the pitcher the rest of the way, or is Moses going to get the call?
Yeah, I don't think Nemi was bad this week. I thought he was fine. Like Norman said, he was okay. He wasn't like a wolf machine. He's in better shape now than in the beginning of the season when he couldn't even pitch both games. So that was okay. He did have those walks before Ali got up, so you have to avoid that.
But that was the only time he did it. I mean, it cost the game, but he didn't walk a lot of people throughout the day. He was.
No.
I expected.
That was the only time, and Ali did a nice shot. I mean, Victor maybe could have had it, maybe not. It wasn't easy, and he's not always out there.
Well, I heard that Victor was playing very shallow in right center.
He wasn't so shallow. I really position the guys a lot. So if I see someone that's not in the right spot, I'll move him around. But I just think he was in right center, and he wasn't so shallow.
But I feel if you're going to go
over him and to the side of him, and it was just if he took the right angle off the bat, maybe he could have had it direct straight diagonally back.
I feel if you're going to play 4 outfielders on alley, you got to play everybody deep, especially in the 6th inning. I mean, just to keep the ball.
It's funny, they went 4 outfielders a few times, and they were usually very deep. But then when Ali hit this ball, it seemed like either Victor ran in or he was started too shallow. I'm not sure. But Ali had a ridiculous. Ali had a great week this week.
If he took the right angle, ran straight back as soon as it was hit, full speed possibly could have.
Probably a laser.
Tough.
Right. By the way, Eddie Mishon is an unbelievable hitter.
Yeah.
This guy was putting the ball exactly where he wanted all day. He had the big hit in game 1 that made it from 2-1 to go to 4-1. He hits the ball to right field if you pitch him outside. He goes with the pitch. You know, he had a tremendous week.
But you guys held Eddie Richty in check. They said. I heard Eddie Richty flew out like 3-4 times.
Eddie Richty got on base via an error early in game 1. Fly ball to my brother Joseph that he inexplicably dropped. He hasn't done it all year. In his glove, just dropped it. So the rest of the game, it seemed like Eddie Richty was
trying to go there.
Was aiming for right field, and he just kept flying out to right field.
Oh, wow. And he's strictly up the middle
big
guy.
catch. I don't know if you remember, Norman, running in on the right field line with first and third one.
Huge catch on the line, sliding catch on the line against Eddie Richty.
With two guys on?
Yeah, with 2 guys
wow.
on. Yeah, I mean, after that error, before and after that error, he's had a great year in right field, my brother, you know, but... you know, it happens. Everyone drops the ball here and there, and
we saw
he rebounded.
Last week we saw Ali and Nathan Towle each drop the ball in the
Nathan Towle dropped the ball in his glove. You haven't seen that.
And Ali dropped it an inning later. Which is something crazy.
Right, you haven't seen that since Psycho in 1983, I believe.
But Douglas, all right. So what do you think about this whole tainted bat incident that's been going around?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear about it until the show. I didn't know what was going on, but I think, you know, as soon as he hit NMLJ is batting 792, you got to know that there's tainted bats all over the place.
This is perfect.
792. Norman. Did Norman's hitting 500? You said, or?
Yeah, anything triple digits for Norman. Usually he's batting 72, 61. You know, once it's triple digits, you know, like.
There's an investigation in order, we know. All right, Dougie.
Dougie, thanks for the call, and good luck the rest of the way with the Bears.
You got it. The show's awesome. You got it.
Thank you.
Unmute myself like I'm the last one now.
All right.
Cheesehead, Douglas Dweck.
Once again, the number is 732-5-YMSL55, and we're going to wrap up the show in a couple minutes.
So wait, you picked what? You picked the split in the Hurricanes and Expos?
The Hurricanes and Expos, yeah, I'm picking a split, and I'm picking the Expos to win the makeup game versus 105. Yeah.
You witnessed the 18-4 game, 105 over the Expos.
Well, that was an aberration, I think, and I think your team's a lot better than that, and you know, so I think they'll scrape up a win, and hopefully it'll be a sunny day, so hopefully your team won't be complaining about. Maybe they want to go to the beach.
Maybe it'll be too sunny for us.
Too sunny.
No, right. We don't want to go to the beach and we're here till 2 o'clock playing softball. So we'll find
something. No question about it.
But this is a huge week for us because we're 6-3, and we could go. We have 3 games. We could be 6-6. We could be 9-3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 would make you what 7, 6 and 3, 8 and 4. 4, which would be a very, very
solid record. Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about getting a bye? Do you think that helps or hinders a team?
I think it helps because anytime you don't have to face another team and
it's one less round to win.
It's one less round, and this year it's so tight. Yeah. You don't want to face it. Now, it's not a guarantee you're going to win the next week. Also, yeah. Right. You're going to have the off week, so you might be a little rusty. Yeah. But you definitely trade that off to not have the risk of playing another team 2 out of 3. I mean, they have the same conversation in NFL all the time with that, you know? But to me, why do I want to face another team when I don't have to?
Right.
I think most of the teams are striving for a bye.
But also a lot of teams that continuously play, like we were talking about it, Nathan Towle, they have a bye on the 16th.
Yeah.
The final week of the regular season. If they get that bye for the first round, that means they're off on the 23rd too. So now that you get 3 weeks in between.
It's an unlucky bye, and they didn't have the bye the last week of the season. They have it only because we got rained out.
Yeah.
So now they have it the last week of the season. We had it the first week of the season. We thought that was a little unlucky because the other team already played a game and was into it, and we were, you know, we were stuck without, you know, we had to go into the game without having played all off season.
Huh?
You know, so. It all depends on the scheduling, and it is what it is. You can't control some things.
Yeah, so I mean, but you know, I would not be surprised if he's once called, but if he, you know, if they become a little stagnant and a team that's played every week all of a sudden comes out with the bats blazing, you lose before you know it. It's you know, that first round is a very, very tough thing to get out of. You know. especially with the 2 out of 3. It's
well, every year we make the predictions. Every year we're wronger than the year before.
Yeah.
Because there's always an upset early on, and sometimes, like last year with the AB Saka team, the team that you pick to lose early just keeps winning, and they get all the way to the World Series.
Yeah. I mean, even though the Marlins ran the table last year in the being first place, they were they'd struggled in the playoffs a little bit till the World Series, and so it'll be very interesting to see what transpires. But now looking ahead, so if you win this week, I'm just trying to see what you had. Who didn't you play yet? The Expo. Oh, you still have the White Sox.
We still have the White Sox, and we still have All In. We were ready to play All In during that first rain out, and there was a lot of back and forth texting between the teams, little trash talking. Jack Abadi actually texted a few of my players saying we're going to sweep you. So that's going to be a fun game to play. They all are. I mean, every time there's always a story going into each game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, anything can happen. Like we always say, I'm very interested in the White Sox versus Bad News Bears this week. I think that's the marquee games on Meadowbrook. I believe they got moved because of the triple headers. So that's going to be interesting to see what the Bad News Bears do from here on in, to see how they rebound. Yeah. I guess we'll find out. We're only 4 or 5 days away.
One of our viewers have just tweeted that the word "wronger" is not a word.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was.
So it's good to see that we have very educated viewers in the wine itself. As a matter of fact, the teams you're playing the next 3 weeks are all in that 4-win range right now. So something you could determine a lot of playoff fates for the remaining teams going the rest of the way.
Yeah, we just got to take care of our own business. I mean, all we got to do is go for the sweep each week. We'll be fine, and whoever makes it. Whoever doesn't, doesn't. Doesn't matter to us.
How's Moni Abadi been coming along?
Yeah, Moni Abadi had his best week of the season by far. Both sides, he hit the ball hard. His defense was there every play. He admitted he's been struggling a little bit going into this week, but this week he was very, very strong. So that was a great sign.
By the way, I want to shout out once again to our great grounds crew for getting a lot of leagues. Didn't play this past week, but I went to Fireman's. The field was beautiful. It looked like Yankee Stadium. Yeah. That field, except for Memorial 2, which needed some work, but the other 3 fields were perfect. And Diamond Dust. Right.
I made that suggestion.
Yes. Diamond Dust only works when it's not a hurricane the night before. And so that's we definitely that water pump's the best.
Yeah. Thank you to Max Sutton.
Thanks Max Sutton for offering that our franchise over here. So Norman, big week again this week, and
looking forward to it as always. Weather looks good this weekend.
The rest of the week looks like in the 80s, so hopefully we'll finally get our first warm Sunday. It was a little windy. I don't know what it was like on Fireman's. It was
no, it was beautiful there.
Beautiful.
It's a great day for baseball there.
And so hopefully there won't be any more issues off the field this coming Sunday, and let's all the action take place on the field, and we'll see. So good luck the rest of the way, and thanks to all our callers. Thanks to Dr. Fiera from Batco Lab in Edison, and hope to hear from him when we get the results.
Okay, and
somehow we got to finagle that bat out of Jordy or Gamal, whoever.
I don't think Gamal's giving it up, but I'm sure we'll see what happens. Jeffrey Saka has a bye next week, so he has all week to deal with it.
Oh, let's deal with it. Well, if we have to go through Gamal's rabbi, we'll get it. We'll have to do what we have to do. The proper halakha is to do,
do what you got to do.
You have to dip it first.
Yeah, no, that's good. All right, thanks, everyone. Good night, everybody.